It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
I stayed for Hurricane Katrina at 35 years old, 20 years later, and it's my first time ever telling this story. The year is 2005. I'm 15 years old, starting my second week of 10th grade at Warren Easton. I'm just, busy worried about typical teenager stuff. It was our first jamboree coming up that week. We was playing St. Aug. It was supposed to be that same Saturday, August 29th. If I remember correctly, it was a few days before they started to tell us, they got a hurricane coming. It could be very bad. We don't really, we'll keep y'all updated. The day before, maybe a day or two before, is when they really started to tell us, all right, y'all, like, maybe y'all should start leaving. And just like any typical New Orleans family, I had never evacuated before. It was just something it wasn't completely necessary. Like, we never had a hurricane that actually wiped us out. So you'll be fine if you stayed. Make sure you got food and water. Get you some games to play, bunker down and ride it out. And at that point, even if you wanted to leave, it was like the roads was gridlocked, bumper to bumper. Like, the traffic wasn't going nowhere anyway. So even if you probably wanted to leave, it didn't make no sense. So it just so happened we were in a process of moving. I had stayed in the same house from when I was born to 15. We were moving. So a few days before that, we had just put all our stuff in storage because the house wasn't quite ready yet. So we was moving in with my grandmother for a couple weeks. So in my grandmother's house, it was me, my mama, my brother, my grandmother, and my auntie. She was the baby of the family. She still stayed with my grandma. 3 of my uncles decided they was gonna come ride it out over there too. So that's what we did. It's just so crazy how that shit really escalated like that fast. And my auntie Julie, like, we lost all the fucking footage. Like, we had the entire hurricane on video. She was just the type who always had a camcorder, always recording stuff. We were on my grandmother's porch the whole hurricane. We watched it pass. It was not that bad. I wouldn't say we was out there the whole hurricane, but we was outside for some of the, like, we was in and out the house. Like, it wasn't that horrible. For that damage to be like that, it was not the storm. I'm telling y'all. Like, y'all see the documentaries. Y'all already know. So after the storm was over, we on the porch, and we start to see, the flood water. Okay, my grandmother's porch had 4 steps to go up until you actually, like, got on the porch. So her house set up a little bit. So we, like, my uncle, he told me and my brother, I guess he was just giving us something to do. He told us to let him know when the water got to the first step. Water rose up a little bit. We went inside and told him, like, Uncle Robbie, the water at the first step. Same thing. Second step, third step, fourth step. The water is up to the porch. At that point, we go inside. We inside for a little while. My grandma had hardwood floors. You could see the water coming in through the cracks. Once it got to, like, our shin inside the house, I remember my grandmother sitting up on the back part of the sofa. Like, her butt was on the back part of the sofa. The water rising up to the sofa. My uncle's like, all right, we got to pull the attic down. We all go to the attic. By the time nightfall, I could literally stick my finger down out the attic and touch the water. Not arm length, finger length. I'm so happy my uncles was with us because it was me, my mama, my auntie, my little brother, and my grandma. We didn't have the strength to bust through the roof. It just so happened they had an X in the attic. They bust through the roof. At that point, we slept up there for that night. Nothing else you could do. Nowhere to go. Surrounded by water. It's hot. It's dark. Like, you could hear the helicopters passing overhead, but they can't see you. It's pitch black. I guess eventually we fell asleep. The next morning, we wake up. My uncle's, trying to come up with a plan, seeing like what we gonna do, because obviously nobody coming for us. They said a prayer, and after a little while, we looking around, they had an empty boat just floating by, like not too far, like just an empty boat. Just, I guess it was in somebody's yard, and the water took it, and it just so happened to pass by us. My uncles, they swam to that boat, and they told us they'd be back. They had to go find higher ground. You wouldn't believe how close higher ground was to us, and it wasn't even fucking flooded. When I tell you the water was up to my ground, well, already know, the water was up to her roof. 2 blocks away, they had a little water, probably like ankle length water, but the water was not over the houses. But you know what type of neighborhood that was? My grandma stayed 2719 New York Street. That's right off of Franklin Avenue, right, like a few blocks away from Rouse's. You know that neighborhood back there by the lake. You know who houses that was. You know who houses didn't get flooded. So they came back with a boat, brought us to 2 blocks away. Everybody who stayed in the area, I guess that's what the common ground was at. Everybody knew to go to Rouse's. Word them out. Meanwhile, my uncles got back on the boat and went, through the neighborhood to see who else they could bring over there. Like real neighborhood hero type shit. Yo, everybody was in Rouse's parking lot. They then had them broke up in there. Got some barbecue grills. Got some food out. Went to grilling. When I tell you, I will never ever forget that pork chop sandwich I had in Rouse's parking lot. I don't know who grilled me that sandwich, but that was the best pork chop sandwich I ever had in my life. So yeah, in the meantime, this is the lot that my grandmother's house was on. She used to have a little horse statue in her front yard. If you go down half a block, you can see where I was talking about with the higher ground. If you look down where those cars passing, that's about 2 blocks. It was not as flooded over there. So yeah, I feel like we was in Rouse's parking lot a few hours, and everybody, just talking amongst each other. Like, we still don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, the army trucks started rolling in. They rolling in the parking lot. They telling us, come on, get on the back of the truck. Get on the back of the truck. Everybody just got on the back of the truck. Like, what else could we do? So the trucks brought us along the lakefront, like behind Rouse's. They drove us to UNO. We pulled up at the auditorium, and they told us to go in the auditorium. Stayed there for a night. So the next morning, we woke up to helicopters. Get in the helicopter, they airlift us to Metairie, and looking down, you just see people on the street for miles, like miles of people and trash, all kind of shit. And we got off the helicopter, and they left us on the side of the road, like on the causeway. Shit was so chaotic, bro. Like, never seen nothing like that before. The whole day goes by, and before you know it, we sleeping outside on causeway. Wake up the next morning, the bus is pulling up. We got on a charter bus, and nobody knew where they was going. You just get on the bus. Like, nobody has no answers for us. We just doing what we told, basically, because what else could you do? Everybody tired, exhausted, hungry, confused, like all of the above. You feeling icky. You ain't able to do nothing for yourself. And for the people who's asking about the Katrina documentaries, there's a lot that you can stream, but my 3 favorite are Katrina Babies by Edward Buckles. He's actually a New Orleans native. It's on HBO Max. When the Levees Broke by Spike Lee. You can find that on Prime. And the newest one by Ryan Coogler, Hurricane Katrina Race Against Time. Those are 3 very good documentaries about it, but there's many more. So yeah, to add on to part 2, I forgot to mention, like I told y'all earlier, my auntie had the footage of everything. By the time we slept on the roof the first night, slept in the auditorium the second night, slept on the street the third night, by the time the buses came the next morning, we was so overstimulated and just ready to go. Somebody left the bag with the camcorder in it just on the side of the road. Who knows if anybody got the footage or if the bag just got left behind forever. And really everything after we got on that bus was a blur to me. Like I can't remember. I remember we went to the Astrodome. I can't tell you how we got from the Astrodome to the hotel. Like I don't even remember none of that for real. But anyway, we wound up living in a hotel for 4 months. My grandmother refused for them to just like place us anywhere in the apartment buildings and stuff like that. She felt like she didn't come from apartments and she's not going to apartments. In the meantime, I got registered for school, started going to school. Well, before that, before we even went to school, we had a white family. The lady name was Miss Terry. I don't remember the names, but they really was nice to us in Houston. They took us shopping, they took us out to eat, all kind of stuff. Like they really treated us well. But yeah, I got registered in school. I went to Westfield High School in Houston. I had some fun times at Westfield. Of course, just like everywhere else, the children was New Orleans against Houston. But I had a pretty good experience. I wasn't with all the crazy stuff. So yeah, after staying in the hotel for 4 months, we finally got into a house. I stayed in a nice subdivision in Houston called Old Oaks. We lived there until December 2006. The reason we moved back was because my grandmother felt like, you know, she wanted to go home. It's not like we moved away. We were forced out. So she wanted to go back to what she knows. So yeah, we came back Christmas break 2006. And in March 2007, she went to heaven. But she went in her hometown like she wanted to. And it's so much more, y'all. I'm gonna try
Rest
to
in
answer
heaven,
more
Grandma.
questions. I'm still gonna try to get my uncle's point of view. Or I still want to talk to my daddy. I'm supposed to be getting with him tomorrow, and I still have the video to upload from my cousin too.
New story
So, y'all, I'm
part.
gonna get my family story. Here go my cousin Steve when he ran into my daddy.
Yeah, so after day one of being stranded out there on Chef Mentor Highway, the one strip of dry land for everybody who survived the water made it to, that one strip of dry land was chaotic. The craziest shit was happening. Girls was getting raped. I almost blew this dude's brains out. My grandfather passed out once. He was in bad shape. So I knew I didn't want us to try and survive and spend another night out there in the pitch dark on that strip. So I knew if I could just make it to my sister's house, because she had a 2-story home at the time, we could bunker down there and we'll be safe and survive this shit for as long as we need to. Because it felt like wasn't no hope and it felt like wasn't nobody coming. Helicopters flying over, but they just filming us. Ain't no rope coming down. So natural human instinct was to survive. What can I do? I went to the mall, got a bunch of clothes, filled up a basket, went to the grocery store, filled that bitch up with any good food I could grab, a bunch of water, brought it back to my family and let them know. And my mother started crying. She didn't want me to leave, but I let them know that I was gonna try and make it to Tasha's house. So we can, let me see how it look over there. Maybe we can make it. I strolled down Chef Mentor Highway, just me, my pistol, and my machete, through all this chaos and all these people, and I'm seeing the worst shit. Old people laid out, I don't know if they was dead or not. And just people in despair, man. This shit was a real life nightmare. So I came to a part where I had to swim. The water was high. If the tracks were here that I was trying to get on, the water was here at the tracks. So I swam through the water, got on top of the tracks, started making my way down. As soon as I turned around to head towards Seabrook, if you know New Orleans, you know there's one set of train tracks that separates Seabrook from Gentilly Woods and Pontchartrain Park. So as soon as I turn around, I hear somebody calling, like, hey. I turn around, and it's my uncle, Mike. He like, D, that's you? I'm like, what the fuck? Mike. So we dap up and we hug, and we both like just chopping it up like, what the fuck, man? You see this shit? Like, what the bruh? So I'm telling him, yeah, man, I'm trying to make it to Tasha's house. She got a 2-story house. Come with me. I'm trying to get a little gang together and shit, because it's wild out there. I'm like, yeah, Mike, come with me. He like, Mikey, Tiffany, Lisa, they all by my mom. They over there. I'm like, yeah? And I'm looking at the houses while he telling me this, and these houses under. So I'm thinking that they didn't even survive this shit. So now I'm like, all right, let me make it down there and then make it to my sister's house. I'll check on them. Maybe I can gang up with them if they made it. He like, I gotta make it back to the house. I gotta make it back. So I'm like, all right, how you gonna make it? I'm looking at the water, and it's raging waters right here at this point, because there was a little canal right there. I don't know why it was raging, but these waters was rough and moving, and you couldn't see nothing but the top of the light poles. So I literally watched him jump off these tracks into the water, go under, come up, trying to swim, fighting through the water, grab a light pole, look back at me like, I'm gonna make it, but I might not. He gave me a look like he was just scared. And I'm looking at him like, just in awe of all this shit, man. I'm in awe. So I watch him swim, trying to make it back. He going under, coming up, fighting the water, going under, coming up. And I saw him make it around the corner. And I just was like, wow, what the fuck? Let me see if I can make it this way. So I turn around, start walking down the tracks. Yeah, man. To be continued. Cause I've been waiting to tell my story too.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, bro. I need to hear the rest of his story. But we gonna tap in, cause Cousin Reno. Let me see if Cousin Reno got some stories on his. Oh, he do. Well, let's get on to Cousin Reno, cause Lord have mercy.
I'll try and convey the message as best as I can, and I'll try and remember as many details as possible. So, the few people I have told bits of the story to, the most common question I get right away is, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you evacuate? How did you get stuck? Like, what the fuck was you doing, right? So, you gotta think about it. I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. 28 years of my life. My dad, which was the reason we didn't leave, I'll get to that in a second. He was there, born and raised 50 plus something years of his life at this time. Now, check it. In Louisiana, in the South, we have a hurricane season where we might experience maybe 4, 5, maybe 3 to 6, I don't know, hurricanes in a short period of time. Every season, every year we have a season. So imagine that for 28 years of your life. And in my dad's position, 50 plus years of his life, every year you're going through 4 or 5 hurricanes. Category 1, Category 2, Category 3. Might have been a Category 4 once, and we stayed. But my point is, somewhere along the way, you become desensitized to it. So we thinking, yeah, it's just another one. Bruh, and then it rained and stormed so much down there. That is just our way of life. That was our culture. That was how we lived. Hurricanes was a normal thing. So we became desensitized to it, man. And my dad, he was so desensitized to it. His fucking head was so hard, like concrete, as far as absorbing information and being told to leave when it's time to, that he just couldn't conceive it at the moment. And my mom wasn't leaving my dad, and I wasn't leaving my mom. So that's the answer to the question, how we got stuck. But in more detail, here's how we really got stuck. So they issued a mandatory evacuation. My dad like, oh, come on, man. Y'all know that's the same old shit. I ain't leaving my house. I'm staying with my house. I'm like, bro, we gotta go. My mom and him going back and forth. She getting mad because she like, no, this seemed like a serious one. We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's go. I ain't leaving my house. We at the house. Steve, talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him. We need to go. I'm like, bro, they issued a mandatory. I ain't never heard that. They saying on the news, get out now. It's coming and it's gonna be bad. Leave. So I'm trying to convince him and talk to him and talk to him. And eventually, as time went on, he finally broke and gave in. And was like, he cracked a smile and was like, all right, man, let's go. I think, all right, let's go. I'm like, you think so? Yeah? Let's go, yes. I think some of my cousins, maybe my cousin Nikki, Albrian, I think they hopped in the truck with us. I feel like a bunch of us packed ourselves into my Ford Expedition at the time. I had a Ford Expedition. We were not prepared to leave. Like I said, it was just another storm. We all pack up in the Ford Expedition. I'm the driver, my mom in the passenger seat. No, my grandfather in the passenger seat. Everybody else filling the truck up. We get as far as Airline Highway, right there by the airport, heading to Kenner, about to hit the outskirts. We thinking we getting away. Traffic come to a complete stop. It's dark, but it's daytime, and the wind picking up. The wind is heavy already. We hours away from the hurricane hitting. Now, I don't want to make it seem too suspenseful, like the hurricane was coming while we driving, but we were hours away from it actually hitting New Orleans. So we on Airline Highway, and we come to a complete stop, all right? Complete stop. I'm on a break. First thing I do, I look down at the gas needle. I'm at a quarter tank. We stopped for like 10 minutes, didn't move an inch. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. I'm like, if this fucking gas run out, at this point, the car is like, it's moving a little bit because these winds getting heavy. It's starting to drizzle. Starting to hit the panic button in my mind, like, if we run out of gas, we was there for like an hour. We sat there for an hour. Traffic did not move. An inch, you hear me? An inch. So we in the truck, everybody going back and forth about what to do, and everybody hitting the panic button, and I'm the driver, so I'm like, I said, look, y'all, what y'all want to do? Go back to the house and ride it out like we always do? Or risk the gas running out of this truck, which is going to do? Because after an hour sitting there, it was even lower than a quarter, getting close to the empty. So I'm like, what we going to do? If we run out of gas, we really fucked up out here. We're going to be in the hurricane in this truck. Of course, everybody agreed to go back to the house. Boom, bust a U-turn. Kited back to the house. Starting to rain. Everybody mad now, sad now, we can't get out. But we ain't really tripping. We like, fuck it, we gonna go to the house, get it ready, prep. As soon as we get to the crib, me and my dad start boarding the windows up. Cleaning up around the house, prepping everything. Trying to figure out what we gonna do. The news on, the power keep going in and out. My dad had one of those old radios. He hit the transistor button, turn that thing on. We listening close, and it's mandatory evac. Get out. Please leave. They're begging people on the radio and the TV to leave. Now this shit scaring us. Finally boarded the windows up. Here come the fucking hurricane. Man, I can't explain how loud, how vicious and strong the power of God and Mother Nature is. It put a feeling inside my body I never felt before. I'm rushing through a little bit, maybe. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm on point. Windows boarded up. We in there bunkering down, everybody chilling. My cousins left when we got back. They hopped in their car, went to their house and rode it out. They got a hell of a story, too. Because they actually got airlifted in the helicopter. So we riding it out, man. Hurricane hitting. I'm like, it's so loud. I'm at the window watching. In disbelief. Disbelief. It's literally trees flying through the air. Big trees. Big trees. I watched a tree in my backyard. I mean, a big fucking oak tree. I watched it snap in half. Slowly. Because the wind was just bearing that motherfucker down. Just. This big ass tree, I'm watching it split in half and I'm bracing the tree breaking. All right. So we're in the thick of the beginning of the storm. It's getting thick. This shit is intense. So intense that I'm at the front window, I'm at the back window, I'm at the side window. Oh, Mom, boom, boom, boom. Daddy, boom, boom, boom. Daddy Green. My grandpa, Daddy Green. My fucking dude. My brother passed away when I was 19. He was 20. After that, my grandfather, Daddy Green, which my family members know him as, became my closest companion after I lost my brother. So, Daddy Green in the house, my mama, my daddy. I'm at the front window, I'm at the back window, I'm at the side windows. This shit is intense. It's so hype on the news. Category 5, this is the worst, please leave. So we in the storm now. I'm getting to the point where I want to see everything because it's so loud outside and it's just so intense. I'm at every window. Right now I'm at the back window and I'm watching this tree break in half slowly. Like I said in the last video, literally it's bending and I'm getting scared. So I'm like, oh shit, Ma! Sure enough, the tree snaps on an angle, snaps in half. If it would have fell on our house, thank God, which it didn't. And it could have because it was big enough to. But it didn't fall on our house. It fell on the opposite house through the backyard across the backyard. I watched it fall on that house and crush it. Now I'm running to the front of the house, man. Now windows breaking. Now the wind coming through the house. Now you just hear shit hitting the house. And the intensity and the enormous feeling was, I can't describe it. I think y'all get the picture so far. So, at some point, I end up stepping outside because I'm like, is this shit for real? I was in disbelief. And I felt like, God damn, I need to see this. Is this shit for real? I step out the door. It's raining so heavy, it's already flooded. Just like that. Maybe a couple minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour, the water was to the door. So real quick, the rain, just the rain from the storm, was coming in the house. All right? It had started seeping through the doors. It was coming through the house. Now, back to when I stepped outside. I see all kind of shit flying through the air, including trees. Cars moving. One car was upside down already. Just that quick. And it was just crazy, man. It was just chaotic. So I go back in the house. The window's breaking. We trying to board shit back up. Hours are passing, y'all. Hours. I think. That shit felt like it was going on forever. And we all stand together and we talking and we in the house going through this shit. Daddy Green making me laugh. This man was so fucking funny. This man was born in 1927. So, talk about old school. I was absorbing everything I could from him. I'm a sponge when it comes to knowledge and information. I almost might look at everything like it's knowledge and information. Anyway. What's going on? Hurricane's passing. I don't want to miss nothing, y'all, so bear with me. That's why I gotta think, man. 20 years, man. 20 years. I'm trying to travel back in my mind right now. 20 years. So, shit breaking. I remember the sun came out. It looked like heaven. It was blue again, and it was no more rain, no more wind. Everything got super quiet. And my mama said, I think that's the eye of the storm. And my pa hollered out, that's the eye. So I go outside. I'm like, the eye of the storm? I go outside. It's beautiful. Like heaven. Pure blue. I look up, sky pure blue. No rain, no nothing. I look up, I'm looking at the eye of the storm. If you know about a hurricane, they make that big twist, but in the middle of it, it's open. So we halfway through the storm now, okay? And here it comes again. The wind, the loud sound, here it come again. It sounded like a train was outside the door. Look, I'm getting back into my New Orleans shit now. I changed the way I talk when I came out here, y'all, because people couldn't understand me, for real. Anyway, now it's hitting again. The shit starting to rage again. Here come the rain again. The house getting water in it. Shit getting a little scary. And right away, I could hear my grandfather holler out, O.T. O.T. That's how he used to call me. Shit so intense, I'm thinking something happened to him because the window's breaking. I run back there to the room. I go in the door. What happened? Bring me that hog head cheese, bro. Hurry up, bitch. That's how he talk. Me and him used to clown a lot, but he don't give a fuck about what's going on. Nigga, bring me that hog head cheese.
All right, everyday people. I guess we're going to get to the rest of that. At some point, y'all can go follow Reno at Reno. I'll put his link in the description. But his Instagram name or TikTok name. But, bro, he took too long. Nigga, you had 10 minutes. You could have put all that in there. But whatever. We here for a good time. Alright, so damn, man, I'm gonna tell y'all, when he said about the eye storm, I'm gonna tell y'all a crazy story. Because y'all, it's so hard to believe about the eye of a storm. We have tornadoes here in Oklahoma City and all the surrounding areas. Actually, I live in Tornado Alley, which is like, when I was going to buy a house, I was like, oh man, these some nice looking houses. Why are they so cheap? I went over there, the whole neighborhood just toe up from the last tornado. I was like, oh, these are some houses that was torn in a tornado. So they remodeled this house, you know what I'm saying? And You know, you can get you a nice looking house, but you got a chance at your house because 6 months ago, the same houses was getting rebuilt. Like it was just like so, it was crazy. But I think I briefly talked about this in the live how my daughter don't have nothing. So I'm gonna tell you about a time when we were stuck in a cellar and we got caught in the eye of the storm. So when uh, me and my friends, I was over my friend's house and tornado was coming. So boom, what we do? I think I was like 17, 18 years old. We go to the cellar. The cellar's in his backyard, right? So we go to his cellar. We sitting in there. The tornado coming. We hear it coming. We talking to his mom. He had a cell phone, mind you. We ain't got like smartphones. We had like Nokia's, the brick with the only thing you had on it was a snake. So we sitting on there. Boom. He got his phone. It's charged up. Them things could stay charged for like 8 days with no charge. They was good. So we in the cellar. I think it was 3 of us, 3 or 4 of us. I don't remember. But the storm come. Boom. We hear it like just barely. You could see like a crack in the crack, and like the water, like the rain would like drip through. Cause in tornadoes, it's not like water. Like a hurricane, hurricanes bring water. Tornadoes, it's raining, but it's not really raining. I mean, it's raining, but you know, it ain't raining. But there's rain. A lot of times there's rain surrounding tornadoes. But so you can see a little drizzle, and like it just get calm, and the sun is out. You can see the light shining. Like it was like once it was over, it was like damn. So my friend opened up the damn cellar. He's like, all right, good, it's gone. Bro, we look up, and like you said, it's a clear sky above us. It's clear, but around us was like, what the fuck is that? But if you look up, like when you open the deal, you be like, oh shit, it's gone. Everything, like the storm is gone. No, the storm was just around us. This had to be like a 3. So we shut it back real quick. And about 30 seconds later, man, if we would have left that thing open, we would have been sucked up out that joint. Cause it happened that quick. Like we seen the sun, and we was like, oh shit, we can get out of here now. We didn't know. We didn't know about no eye of the storm or nothing like that. We thought, oh, it passed. We can get out of here. Cause immediately after that thing, and it was back pitch black. But then once we came out the second time, it was still pitch black. There was rain everywhere. We getting rained on, but the storm had passed. The tornado had passed. So now, windows, trees everywhere, power lines down. We leave the storm shelter. We had to walk like a mile to one of our friends. We had to walk a mile or so to a friend's house, and then we chilled over there because tornadoes, they hit spots. They don't just take out a whole. They don't take out a whole city. They take out a plot of land, and my friend's house was just on that plot of land, and they got demolished. It was stuff everywhere. Insulation, that stuff that you insulate the house and all that, everywhere. I mean, it was just stuff everywhere. It was just crazy. But anyway, that was the time of me seeing like the eye of a storm, and I seen that. I was like, damn. But then I'm gonna tell y'all about the people from Katrina who came to Oklahoma, cause like in Norman, which is south of Oklahoma City, Norman is the University of Oklahoma. That's where that is. Well, they opened up their low income housing, which is it's low income housing, but this it's so small. They didn't have a lot of low income housing. First of all, it was all white people in the low income housing. There wasn't many black people, maybe one or two in the low income housing in Norman. All white people. So when the people from New Orleans came, they built a whole new thing in like 6 months for them to come and move, evacuate to, like come and live, because they had nowhere to go. A lot of them was still displaced at this time, living in shelters and everything. So they had homes to at least go to now. So then you start seeing these fools in jail. Remember, I told you when I was trying to go help Katrina. If you watch my live, I was trying to go help the cleanup in New Orleans, and my lawyer locked me up. I mean, not my lawyer, my probation officer locked me up. So now I'm in there with people from New Orleans, because they just, they come in there and they still on they rowdy shit and they doing this. And one dude was like, "Yeah, I'm a cut boy." Yeah, cut boy. I'm a cut boy. And it's all he said was like, "Nigga, shut up, nigga. We in Oklahoma now." I mean, he got into it with a few people, but he was saying he was a cut boy. But like, bro, we still, and you fight. He had a fight with this big country white boy. Boy, that big country white boy put something on his ass. And I was just saying, like, bro, this ain't New Orleans. Like, you ain't got no gun. You gotta fight it out. And we get down out here too. So it's crazy that they was just trying to punk everybody. And then so I could tell you this one dude, I used to play football with this dude. I'm not gonna mention him because, anyway, he was from the set. But my cousin tried to holler at his sister or cousin or something, and he tried to beef with us about my cousin hollering at his cousin. So then I had to run one of them fools over in my car. And so we had this beef, this ongoing beef, all summer long. This is 2005. All this stuff is going on. And the people from New Orleans come over. So now it's 2006. 2006, people from New Orleans come in. And this fool got into it with these people from New Orleans. Man, they wet this food car up, shot this food car like 60 times in the club parking lot. Them two dudes who did that, they locked up in Oklahoma prisons right now, but they wet that everybody in the car gone. People from New Orleans was coming here wrecking shit. It was a one dude, I can't remember his name, but he was a big, tall, skinny dude. Bro used to have a lawyer bringing in Newports and stuff like that. He was cool and a fan. But he was in the street life. I'm talking about shit I ain't never seen before. But I stayed, when I got in the streets and I would holler at him, man, I stayed clear away from that dude. I was like, man, nah, you too hot. But we had cut boys, we had hot boys. It was another set. It was a know your boy. It was a know your boy up in that from, and then not only that, it was I had a homie named Gino. Gino was a light skinned bro, like green eyes Creole motherfucker. Gino's from New Orleans, and Gino was like one of them fast talking motherfuckers that used to just think he was the shit because he was from New Orleans and whatever. But he was cool to motherfucker though. But he was kind of like the mediator between all the damn New Orleans people, because these niggas had real life beef in their city, but now they in Oklahoma, and now they gotta stick together. So these niggas really banging different hoods, but they in Oklahoma City, and now they gotta be homeboys. And it's crazy because Gino was like bringing all the foods together. That's when I first heard of like the BMF. Like BMF was like we didn't have BMF in Oklahoma. But apparently some niggas from New Orleans was BMF. And They had it tatted on their deal, and I was like, it's like Black Mafia family. You know about Black Mafia family? All this, I'm like, Black Mafia family. I ain't never heard no Black Mafia family. Like, yeah, we doing it big. I'm like, all right, nigga, like, but at the same time, shit, my best friend was the plug, so I thought what we was doing was big, but what they talking about, they doing it big. I'm like, all right, whatever. I ain't got time to deal with that. But the stuff that these dudes used to talk about doing, and then they was shooting up everything, and every time it was a beef, it was another New Orleans. I bet you if you look on the ODOC and see how many people born and raised in New Orleans that been locked up between 2006 and 2010, you'd be like, damn, because they was coming down here. Now, and then here's another thing. They was coming down here doing vicious shit, right? And they'd be like, oh no, after 90 days, you gotta let me go. Fool, this ain't New Orleans. They not letting you go. In New Orleans, if you catch a body and don't nobody come be a witness, they let you go after 90 days. Man, they was not, man, people was being testifying on their asses left and right. And they was like, damn, they couldn't scare nobody into not testifying against them like they could in New Orleans. It was different. I don't know what was in the water out there, but when people in New Orleans would get into some stuff, people wouldn't testify. People would get off of murders. That's why they was the murder capital of the world. That's why they, like, none of their murders would stick, because after 90 days, they'll let you out. And people will be like, nah, don't snitch on him, because when he get out, we finna lay his ass down. We're gonna chop his dick off and put it in his mouth. And that's what they used to say and do. They wanted to get some get back. In Oklahoma, not having it. People was snitching on them dudes. They was stuck in there like, man, this person really coming to court. How I get them off of me? Man, I don't know. I don't know them folks. Like, oh, y'all don't got no pool down here? Man, y'all ain't hot stuff. Y'all ain't got this. Nigga, ain't nobody tell you come down here and shoot nobody, stupid. Man, them fools used to be dumb. They used to, man, they committed crimes after crime after crime. First of all, robbing a 7-Eleven that only got about $20 in it is crazy. They was doing the most crash dummiest shit. Even the dudes that murked dude I grew up with that was tripping with me. And once I seen he got murked, I was like, he had it coming, because he was acting big, he was acting hot shit. And I'm like, damn, nigga, you over here banging with a dance group. Nigga, y'all should be grooving. Nigga, y'all want to fight over some bitches. What the fuck? What's wrong with y'all? Anyway, showed him. Yeah. Well, that Katrina was wild. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.